Alrighty, let's see. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Stacey Storino. Normally, I'm with Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill, and today I am here in YouTube under my own channel. So, I'm here on weekdays. Monday and Tuesday are pre-recorded videos. Thursday and Friday are pre-recorded videos every week. And then every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I do a live stream. It's kind of like a community give back. So you are welcome to attend live or even on the replay and ask your organic content marketing questions when it comes to social media. And that also includes, any sort of content marketing that can drive traffic to your business, right? So that you can do more business. So, live or on the replay, it always helps me out if you at least give this video a thumbs up. And for my students, they know I like to see hashtag live, hashtag replay, because I do care about who watches on the live and who watches on the replay. And my students know that they're welcome to ask me any sort of organic content marketing questions, especially on this live, and that they're welcome to send out word to their friends to come and attend a live stream. Here again, it's every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I am more than happy to let anybody come by. Let me go. I'm live now on YouTube. All right, so I'm happy to have you share this stream out with your friends. This way I can answer their questions too. Because a lot of people will be like, come on, seriously, let me just pop out the chat here. Okay, I popped out the chat. All right, so let me also go into another one here. Let's go into... make sure that you guys drop your questions. I want to also, I'm very excited. I want to thank everybody. I've hit 1,400 subscribers as of today, which is very, very, very exciting. I went from 0 to 1,000 subscribers in 10 months. However, I did get really, really sick. I got injured first, then I got COVID, then I had long COVID. Good Lord in heaven. And now I've been back for a couple of months and I'm growing again. And one thing about organic growth on YouTube, come with your content marketing questions. All right, so just do one more. I have several student groups, so I'm just trying to make sure that I get everybody and remind them really quickly that I'm here. Okay, so all right, let's see. Thank you for the thumbs up. I really do appreciate that. That helps me out more than you know. Let me go to my chat pop-up. Aha! Hi, Personal Creations Live, Personal Space Creations Live. That's Bridget. Hi. Personal. So I would always, no matter what platform you're going live on, I would always like say hi back. I would wave back, anything, because anytime that you engage with your live viewers or even the replay viewers, and they engage with you, that's another data point for the algorithm on that particular platform to surface. Hey, Music Chick Art, let's go. Hey, Music Chick Art. And the more data points that there are for every platform's algorithm to surface, then the more likely it is that it's going to keep suggesting out your live stream or replay, depending upon where you're at, to not only your followers or subscribers, but to similarly situated users who should be followers or subscribers of yours. Hey, Nicola, what's going on? Good to see you. I signed it on my, I shared it on my personal Facebook page. Thank you. You know, you guys are more than welcome to share this out. Like I said at the top when I was just kind of clambering on to the live, you guys are more than welcome to share it on your personal timelines and in any groups that you're in, and encourage other people to come so that this way, you know, they can get their questions answered here So let me just say hi to Nicola. What's going on? All right. So my students know both live and on the replay that I always want them to share what they've done for their business so far this week. It's Wednesday while this is live. Happy hump day. Happy Wednesday to everybody. So let me know if you're willing to share what you've accomplished for your business this week. If you're products based, have you made more products? Have you photographed your products? Have you done listings? If you're a coach or a course creator, are you putting your finishing touches on a new course? If you sell digital offerings, how's that? How about your websites? One thing that I want to do before I get into the topic of today's teaching is everybody needs to have a website. If you don't have a website, there's a statistics that's out there that's not old at all that says that if somebody like finds you on Etsy or Skillshare or like some other platform, or they run across you, say on social, and they're like, oh, let me go look up so and so. As much as everybody likes to crow that like websites are dead or they've been around forever, up to 80% of people will not buy from you if you don't have a website at all. If it's really crappy, it hasn't been updated in forever, like the theme is really outdated, links don't work, you can go for anywhere from 80% down to 60% of people won't buy from you. So that's always very nerve-wracking. Yay. Okay. Oops. Sure. Let's see. Sure. Please try again. Also, please give me the Canva link for the sales pack if you could. I'd really appreciate it. Sorry, guys. I got a staff member who's in another time zone, and they're doing me a big favor because I've been sick. Hey, Miss Amy Lindblade, what's going on? Hey, Behaven Designs, what's going on, Stephanie? Behaven Designs. Hi at Amy Lindblade. Always, always, always try to say hi to everybody when they're on your lives, okay? And your replays too. I would at least check up on your replays and look back to see if anybody came and watched your lives on the replay. Did they comment? Did they ask questions? Did they have concerns? And make sure that you comment back. So Music Chick Art. Yay. Okay, I've added more items and I'm launching my newest collection on Sunday. How many listings are you up to, by the way? Let me see. Google, hold on, let me just. Sorry, she's overseas, so I have to allow her in, and they send you like time sensitive blasts. I didn't know that she'd be cool enough to jump in now. Yes, it's me. All right, so let me. How many more notifications am I going to get? Yes. Sorry, guys. Definitely let me know how you're doing with your websites and all of the thing. Prompt expired. What the heck is that? All right. So let me just, okay. So Laura is saying, because Laura's from Music Chick Art, Laura's saying that she has almost all of her items together, or she's caught up with getting all of her product listings together so that she can do a product collection launch this Sunday, which is really exciting. I know that she's kind of like pivoting and she's getting even sharper when it comes to the use of keywords and hashtags. And we're going to talk about hashtags today. Bridget of Personal Space Creation says that her husband Darren, who's her business partner, is learning how to upload photos and products to the website tonight. Woohoo! Pray that mom does well on her own for a few hours. I do pray for that. Elder care isn't easy, and you've got two of them going on. Hey, Cindy Bonkowski, what's going on? Good to see you. Good morning from Argyle, Texas. Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending upon where you're watching in the world and when you're watching in the world. So Cindy. Okay. And Nicole Cousin says, when I'm watching now, I'm creating a batch of meme and quote posts for Instagram, scheduling them on later, and researching hashtags on Flick. Yay. Flick is definitely my tool of choice for hashtags. And that's going to get me to circle around to the topic that I have today. But always, 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 okay, R-U-N. Sorry, it's really hard sometimes when things don't match up just right and prompts expire. So I have somebody working for me over in the Philippines, and it's great. She's an independent contractor, and she's awesome. But we're trying to get a launch out today for the September popularity plan packs. and it will happen later today. She's able to get in. Pardon me if I cough. I'm getting over being sick for like the zillionth time, but I have a bad immune system, so what can one do? And so that will be launched for my students. Keep your eyes out on your email list. I pushed over the cart close date, so it's not on Friday, it's on Sunday, because obviously getting all the tech and everything together took a little bit longer than I would have liked. But I do like later as an auto posting or auto scheduler for content. I used to recommend Hootsuite for years, and I'm really, sad, but I think Hootsuite is like way out of step. And for the price point, how out of step they are and how clunky their UI or their user interface is, that's a pain. So I don't really recommend Hootsuite anymore. I used to use them for years. I didn't even share any affiliate links for anything for it. I just used to use them for years. Now, if you're going to go like multi-platform, like it's really good for Instagram. Increasingly, they're doing stuff for TikTok, Pinterest, and stuff like that. Later would be kind of my Swiss Army knife of choice for auto schedulers or auto poster tools. I'm not going to drop an affiliate link for later. I don't want to be a shill for anything, everything, all the time. But I will say that later does have, at least currently in this snapshot of time, a forever free plan. So for the different platforms that they do service, I think TikTok, you do have to be paid. That's a paid feature. But for like Instagram and Pinterest, you get like up to X amount of posts in a month or a 30-day period, so that this way, you don't have to pay for it. And it's kind of like your freemium way of giving later a try. Hey, Brenda, what's going on? Brenda Fernari, good to see you. Hi, Brenda. All right. If you have an organic content marketing, social media post, email marketing post type question, be sure to ask it down below. Bridget says, hashtags are killing me. I think I get it figured out. Then nope. I know you're using Later. Later is the paid tool that I am a shill for directly. If you don't know what Later is and you want to give it a 1 week free trial, everybody down in the comment section below or in the show notes for this video, both live and on the replay, you'll see the link. It's right after the quick description that I posted. You can see the link. It is an affiliate link. You do get a 1 week trial. If you stick with it, yes, I get affiliate income. The disclaimer's down below, but that helps me to, be able to continue to do live give back sessions like this once a week to the community and anybody who the community invites, so that they can get like some free coaching for anywhere from about a half an hour to an hour once a week on Wednesdays. And it also allows for me to be able to continue to create YouTube videos for this channel. So excited, hit 1,400 subs. Very happy. I went from 0 to 1,000 in 10 months, then got injured, and then had to recover from the injury, then got COVID, then suffered long COVID, and now I'm back for a couple of months. YouTube doesn't like it when you don't produce content at least on a weekly basis, and that's a sheer minimum. So when I didn't do it for a protracted period of time, the channel slowed down a little, but it's starting to warm back up, so you just have to be patient. YouTube is the second largest search engine on planet Earth, so it is really worth the effort that you put in here. When it comes to hashtags, Flick is my paid tool of choice. There is not a free hashtag optimization and research tool out there that's free that I like. And you know what? Like I just said, I'm not even going to drop a link for later. There's a forever free plan. Go use it, right? So I have no problem, even if I don't get affiliate income from later, to recommend y'all to go try it out. And it does have like currently a forever free plan, right? Flick does give you the 1 week free trial period, but it is a paid tool, and I just can't find another like free or freemium tool or method that really just matches up with Flick. It's what I use. It's what Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill, my 7-figure success client, uses. It's what other paid clients of mine use. Even people like from back in 2013, 14, when I started coaching, even some of those people, I mean, tools, Flick is a relatively like newer tool. So, but I've gone back to some of my original one-on-one clients from back in the day, and they love it too. So I'm happily a shill for that. I'd be a shill for later too, but I don't want y'all to feel like all I do is shill, because that's not what I want to do. But Flick is definitely worth it. So why, Bridget? I know you're using Flick. Why do you feel like you don't have hashtags figured out? Oh, Nicola, what did you want to ask? She says, I'm using later and flick, posting at later suggested times and more. So you must be using a paid version of it, I'm going to guess. I think you are. Because I think like certain additional features unlock even for Instagram and whatnot afterwards. Yay, Stacey, congrats. Your YouTube content is so valuable. Thank you. I love doing it. This is like the highest and best expression of who I am as a human. You know, I was a hardcore litigator for 17 and a half years. And I represented Rockefeller Center and the Arizona Beverage brand at two separate firms in my day. So I loved it. I was successful at it, but it never felt like my plan A. This is definitely my plan A. I love what I do and I love who I do it for. And I'm proud of all of you. So Bridget says she's marrying her hashtag clouds, that you should do. They're a great fit for about a week, then drop off. I admit I'm not doing stories and reels yet. Okay, so in terms of reels, you know, you're obviously going to get a lot more growth and you're going to be suggested out more by the Instagram algorithm on that platform. Hashtags aside, and I don't say that lightly because the title of this video and what I'm going to teach about today is, do hashtags work? What I'm going to talk about today, yes, it'll largely be shot through an Instagram based lens, but a lot of what I say you could also take and export out for use on platforms like Twitter, and also for TikTok. Okay. So yes, paid versions of both, said Bridget. She's just confirming. So worth it, just my old brain, I guess. No, you know what it is? You don't want to use, and Bridget knows this, and she said she wasn't doing this, but just for the benefit of anyone watching this live or on the replay, you don't want to use the same hashtag cloud over and over again. Even if the hashtags that you use all just so happen to be a perfect fit or description of what's depicted and shown, no matter what type of content that you're using on Instagram or anywhere else. Again, this will be largely shot through an Instagram lens, but again, you could extrapolate this or import it and use it in large part on other hashtag heavy indexing sites for social media like TikTok and Twitter. You don't want to use the same hashtag cloud over and over again, because even if every hashtag arguably applied to every piece of content that you do, it can after a while kind of be flagged as spam. So I tell my students to, at the very least, you know, if you have like a bunch of default like hashtag clouds and you know that everything applies to the content that you're posting, that's cool. But you also want to make sure that you're adding unique hashtags to each hashtag cloud, that you're not just toggling between, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5, even up to 10 different defaults and going, well, I won't automatically be flagged as spam by the algorithm because I'm cycling my hashtag clouds and everything has some sort of causal connection or nexus to what's depicted or shown or what is the theme of the content that I'm creating. Is that a feed post? Is that a piece of Instagram stories content? Is it IGTV video? Is it reels? Who cares, right? The content media doesn't matter. Let me just see. Okay, yay. Thank you. Okay. I'm lucky. Galilee works late sometimes. Oh, let me say hi to Lisa Garrett. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Miss Lisa. What's going on? Good to see you here. Do you have any questions or you have any like wins you want to share? Definitely do it here. If you're not a student of mine, no worries. But you know, you can see like what my students are working on, what they're doing, things they want to celebrate. For example, I'm celebrating that I hit 1,400 subs on YouTube. It's really hard when you're a beginning channel to rank up on YouTube. It's a very mature platform. And even if you narrow down, focus on the keywords, hashtags isn't so much a thing here on YouTube, but on the keywords in your SEO or search engine optimization of your content, not just your titles and descriptions, but your content overall, because the YouTube algorithm actually can read your lips and it can tell what you're saying. It can also tell if what you're saying doesn't match up with the closed captions, including the automated closed captions that they put there. So you want to make sure you clean those up so everything matches what you're saying. If you don't, you could get algorithmically penalized or punished, paradoxically, by the YouTube platform and or by Google. Google and YouTube are owned by the same parent company called Alphabet. Okay. Oh, good morning, Miss Lisa. So you don't want to use the same hashtag cloud over and over again. You don't just want to rote, and I'm not saying Bridget's doing this. You don't want to just rote toggle back and forth between different hashtag clouds and say, well, I'm not using the same one like all the time or every 2 times. These are steps in the right direction. You're less likely to be flagged as spam or to have like the reach of your stuff reduced. Hi, Michelle McLaughlin. Good morning. I'm here to keep learning. That is cool. Hi, Michelle McLaughlin. Good morning. Good to see you. Hope all is well with you. I know you have a lot going on. Ooh, Donna's here. Ooh, hi, Transformational Healing by Donna. Okay. So, but what you want to make sure that you do is, even if you want to use, like, say, for feed posts, for IGTV videos, and for Reels, you get 2,200 characters in the caption. And for IGTV videos and Reels, I like to keep all my hashtags in the caption itself. But with that many, character spaces, 2,200 of them, I think you're fine to put in, up to 30 hashtags. Instagram stories per piece of Instagram story content, that's the only exception. You get up to 10 hashtags. No matter what the content and the media is, always use hashtags will work if you're intelligent and strategic about using them, right? So on Instagram, if you can use up to 30, use all 30. Please don't listen to any rumors by any sort of influencer, who might say, and I don't even think too many of them are saying it, but don't use all 30 hashtags. No, use all 30 hashtags for several reasons. Number one, Instagram's CEO didn't come out and tell you not to do it. Recently, they made an announcement that, Instagram's no longer a photo first platform. And they didn't say not to use photos or graphics or memes or GIFs on Instagram anymore. If you do, they won't have great reach. They just won't be given the priority reach, algorithmically speaking, to your followers on Instagram and then suggested out on the Explore page or tab by the Instagram algorithm, who's matchmaking your content with users on that platform who aren't followers of yours yet, but probably should be. Okay. So, number one, they didn't tell you not to use every last hashtag that you could. So, use 10 for each piece of Instagram story content and use 30 for everything else in terms of hashtags. If you're not using enough hashtags, you're not giving yourself piece by piece of content, no matter what type it is. You are not giving yourself as many opportunities to be pulled up in search per piece of content that you could be if you were using all the hashtags that you could. Remember that content is indexed or stored or pulled up in search on Instagram by hashtags, increasingly by keywords too. Keywords are becoming more powerful in your captions, but that is not the focus of today. But just in case you were wondering, yes, I do have a couple of videos on my channel and a few more that will continue to come out. I'm at least a week ahead at any given time. So just in case I get sick, like I do sometimes because I have a bad immune system, I can continue to roll along with YouTube. Okay, I've learned the hard way from last year after going from 0 to 100 subs in 10 months. And then bam, I get injured. And then after that, I get COVID. And then after that long COVID, I've learned to start building up extra content in my queue. YouTube videos, even with a paid video editor, can be a little time consuming. But like for Instagram or Twitter or TikTok or Facebook or anything else, Pinterest with pins, you can batch create a bunch of stuff. And if it's not video, for sure, you can batch create a lot of stuff. But so if you're sick like me, or you're going in for surgery, or you just had a baby or anything like that, right? You can at least get out in front of whatever is foreseeable in your life. Because the problem is, if you're not posting on the daily for most platforms, you certainly don't have to do it on YouTube yet. But for most platforms, and yes, that includes Instagram, if you're not putting up at least one piece of well optimized content a day, whether you can use hashtags to optimize it or not, you're going to have a very hard time being found. You are. So, still getting over being sick. Sorry if my voice is rough. Bridget says, good morning, Donna. I'm going to message you later and ask a question in the group. What group? Which one, Bridget? Donna says, good morning. Working on resetting my social media from moving my virtual into healing crystals class. Nice. To line up with our pop-up shop local sale. I'll keep my eyes open for it. Oh, in Donna's group? Okay, never mind, never mind, never mind. I was wondering if it was like one of the one of my student groups. If it's not, no big deal. That's between you guys. I have thousands of students at this point, everybody watching live or on the replay. So some of my students, when they go off to be coaches, right? Like Donna teaches about like healing and Wiccan and pagan type stuff, right? So, like, I have coaches that teach about that teach about decorating, that teach about like how to run an embroidery business, like Andrew. Hey, Andrew. Donna's group. Okay, yeah, I figured it out. Sorry, Bridget. I was like, which student group are we talking about? None of mine. So, I've helped throughout the years people to become life coaches and stuff like that. Regardless of your business model, what I teach in terms of organic social media content marketing to drive traffic to your business to do business will work. Okay, going back to hashtags. Okay, I'll post with no warning in a Stacey group. Yeah, I know, Bridget. I was just like, oh, sorry. I'm such a goofball. All right, hold on. Again, sorry, I don't want to like drink in front of everybody, but I'm still really parched and no pressure. I have a talk to give in front of a Facebook group. It's a closed Facebook group with 30,000 plus people in it today. Like thank God that wasn't last week because that would have been a nightmare. Okay, you guys, one thing I'm going to ask you really quick, post any questions you want about optimization with hashtag type things because that's today's theme. And also, even if you have no questions or anything, give this video a thumbs up. Please do. You want to know why? Because every thumbs up that a video gets, even thumbs down, they both count the same, believe it or not, but don't give me a thumbs down, please. That's so annoying. Actually, whatever. But as many engagements as possible that any video can have, not just on YouTube, but on Instagram when you go live there or anywhere else. Every engagement counts as another data point for the algorithm to surface. The more engagement points that you get, the higher your piece of content scores, even alive, even when it's on a replay, and the more it gets shoved out to people who are already subscribed to you or following you, and or it might, depending upon the platform, really begin to suggest you out to subscribers or users on a platform that should be following you, should be subscribed to you, or at least should want to see this particular piece of content. As any student of mine knows, no matter what course they're in, the algorithm's purpose or the AI or artificial intelligence that runs an algorithm, the mathematical computational algebraic formula that like crunches all of the content and the optimizations together, all the data points together, the AI's purpose, therefore the algorithm's purpose, is to keep users on the platform longer. So obviously they want the users that are subscribed to you or following you, whatever the platform parlance is, to keep consuming your stuff. They're more likely to do it. And the more engaged they are with your stuff, the more they will see that stuff more often and or the more priority placement. Even on Twitter, somebody's tweets will go, right? And then when they do matchmaking, like digital matchmaking, they will suggest things out. You'll have suggested in the homepage on YouTube. You will have the explore page or tab on, Instagram, for example. Those algorithms will help you, but you have to make sure that you give the algorithms plenty of data points. So it's not just everybody give a thumbs up on this YouTube video or comment down below, and I'll acknowledge you when you log in. Hey, Miss Lisa, what's going on? Hey, Michelle McLaughlin, thank you. Hey, Miss Deborah Burkhart, good morning. Working on my website, good for you. And a new collection launch, awesome. And today's email, out to her email list. By the way, I've been teasing for 10 days. Oh my gosh, Deborah, that is awesome. When we talk about teasing here, for anyone live or on the replay that's not a student of mine already, they know that when I talk about teasing, it's like you can't just have a sale or, launch a product line collection, or if you're a coach, cart open, cart close. You can't just drop in out of nowhere. No live streams, replays, no social posts, no emails to your list, and then be like, hey, everybody, here's a sale. I mean, you could, and you might get sales. I'm not guaranteeing that you wouldn't, but I could almost guarantee that you would do a lot better if you just like woke up your social following globally, your collective platform following, and your email list and do a live, especially on the top two platforms that are most important to your niche. You may not be able to go everywhere all the time, but that's okay. You don't necessarily have to, especially when you're first starting out with your business, marketing your business, or both. So please make sure that you are teasing, waking everybody up, hinting that there's a new product line collection that's going to drop, or straightforwardly telling everybody your new course is coming. With the popularity plan, I've been telling everybody for the last week about it. And even though I was sick and the launch is being, it's going to go forward today, probably by midday today while this is live, and I had to push the cart close day over to accommodate for that. Life happens, you get sick, but keep giving people updates. Post about it, talk about it on a live, send an email, let everyone know. And if there's a delay, let everyone know because life happens. But don't be afraid to email your list. Don't be afraid to talk about a sale. Don't be afraid to tease it. But if you drop in ice cold, you will not necessarily get the results that you deserve. So really, really good, Deborah Burkhart, that you were taking my advice. You might remember Onika's not here right now, but in one of the student groups, I have so many, God help me. But in one of my student groups, Onika, who is a very, very successful business, I bought this from when she was in an Etsy crossover called A Beautiful Mess last summer. She has a super successful business. She launched a second business serving the same ideal customer, but in a different way. So that's how she could handle it. Onika once was talking to a group saying, really weird. I recently launched a product line collection and I didn't really get much of a response. And, gosh, it's been going so well for me overall. I was surprised about this. And the first question that I asked her was, did you really tease or warm up your audience for the sale? Did you email your list? Did you do a live post to replay? Did you do any social posts? And she said, none. I said, that's why, especially when everything else is popping like it's hot. And I know you've been pretty good about doing that. That's usually your first indication your audience just wasn't ready for it. So let me greet everybody because that's always a nice thing to do, right? And then let me continue with the hashtag teaching, okay? So here we go. So I wonder, Bridget, if you're like, my hashtags work for a while and then they don't. Are you using the same exact hashtag cloud? Like, I know to toggle between them. Hashtag clouds, when I use the term cloud, I mean like a collection of hashtags. So say 30 hashtags for a feed post, and maybe you write them all up in the Notes app on your phone, and then you long hold and copy, and then you paste it after you've done your post on Instagram, or maybe you're including it in your caption and then you post on Instagram. By the way, students ask me all the time, say I can do 30 hashtags for a feed post. With IGTV videos and reels, you can do 30 hashtags, but always put them in the caption for that. That's just what I recommend. But for feed posts, it's kind of like dealer's choice. You can do all 30 in the caption. That's fine. You could publish the feed post with the caption, let's say, and immediately paste into the first comment underneath that caption. Because let's say you were running out of space, you had a longer caption. Mix up your caption lengths. That's fine. They don't all have to be long. But the days of no caption or a stubby little line or something like that, those are over. That's not going to help you with Instagram SEO, but that's separate teaching for a separate day. And there are videos on my channel already, I believe, that talk about Instagram SEO. If you're not subscribed, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and click the bell notification and select all, because every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, even when I'm sick, watch me last week with my ripped up nose and everything, I was still here. I'd have to practically be on my deathbed to skip this. But definitely I am here weekly and you don't want to miss that. Okay. And then plus I put out 4 pre-produced YouTube videos every week, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday and Friday. And if you like playlists on YouTube, I have playlists galore on my YouTube channel. Celebrating 1,400 subs today. I'm very excited. So Personal Space Creations, or Bridget says, I just got accepted to latest beta group to try and review text-only posts. Twitter just got easier. Oh, quick warning to you, Miss Bridget, Twitter will give you better algorithmic reach when you have an image associated with your post or a video snippet. So don't do just, I mean, do whatever you like, but I wouldn't recommend that you do text only posts on Twitter, because Twitter is like one of the greater older granddaddies out there when it comes to social media apps. And regardless about how any of us feel about Twitter or Jack Dorsey or anything else, I will tell you that Twitter has been around for so long. It's such a competitive platform. I'm not saying don't have a presence on it, folks. But what I'm saying is, like, you need every last advantage to get like any sort of good push on there. So definitely use hashtags on your tweets. You get up to 280 characters per tweet to do it, but make sure that you have a graphic or a visual, because that's been shown. Tweets with like either like a graphic or an image or a photo or a video snippet or something like that, they perform better on Twitter than just text only. Can you do text only on Twitter? You can. Well, poo, she says. Well, girl, I'm just trying to get your back, and you know that. So, all right. I know it sucks, but I hate to see you waste your time on Twitter. It might not be a total waste of time, but your stuff would just perform better. All right. Sorry, guys. Still not getting over being sick. All right. So you definitely want to use hashtags on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. You want to get all the hashtags that you can fit in with at least some sort of tweet or tweet like caption on TikTok and Twitter. If I'm not mistaken, TikTok's caption character length is shorter than a tweet on Twitter. Again, a tweet on Twitter is 280 characters, so you don't get a lot on TikTok. So I would have some sort of thing on TikTok that's got some sort of hint in terms of words slash keywords about why you want to watch the whole video. You can go up to 3 minutes on TikTok now. They're still rolling it out, so if you don't have that ability yet, you will soon. But you do need hashtags on there, because people do search on both keywords and hashtags on TikTok as well. But shooting this through an Instagram lens, use every hashtag that you can. Okay. The CEO never came out and said you can't. They're not blocking your ability to do it. It's just like from the rumor mill and the conspiracy mill, on TikTok, that on Instagram. So if you can use 30 hashtags, use all 30 hashtags, but be very strategic about the hashtags that you use. Don't copy and paste the same cloud over and over again. Don't toggle too heavy between like 2 or 3 different preset hashtag clouds, even if, like I said earlier, technically every hashtag is associated or can be related back to the content that it's being published with, right? Because you do not want the algorithm to be like, meh, this is getting stale either. Plus, I'm going to bet you at least 2 or 3 hashtags out of the 10 per piece of Instagram story content, or the 30 hashtags that you can use for everything else on Instagram currently. I'm going to bet you at least a couple hashtags should be used that are unique to whatever's being depicted, shown, discussed, whatever in your Instagram content holistically. Okay, so Laura Music Chick Art says, for the past 2 weeks, I haven't been doing many videos on Instagram, just photos. I'm continuing to get more subs the past 2 weeks than before. Very weird. I'm using Flick now, though. I know that Flick's going to help you. Okay, I always think very long and hard before I'm an affiliate for anything. And Flick, I mean, some of my students, depending upon the group, knows that I was silently testing it and going like, here, let me know what you're trying to optimize. And I would test whether someone was selling microgreens. Jocelyn, I'm thinking about you. Or someone's selling like angel wings and like bereavement stuff. Nance Trombley, I'm thinking of you. Like, I just kept like very quietly going, hey, do these hashtags work for that post? Hey, like, no matter what student, what business model, what they're selling and who they're selling it to, Flick like blew things out of the water for people. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to talk about this tool in the group, and then you do what you want to do, but you're helping me to test, right? Because I don't want people to go, well, Flick's only good for people with a product-based business, or Flick's only good for coach and course creator folks like you, Stacey. No, Flick's good for lots of everything. Even Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill can use Flick for Instagram and elsewhere. And they're a food service based business. It doesn't matter. It's just the tool. So I'm not saying that you can't get any traction, and I'm not saying Laura's saying this. I'm not saying that you can't get any traction from using images or pictures or graphics on Instagram. Of course, if you're optimizing well and or better and better still, whether you're using a tool like Flick or not, yeah, sure, they're going to get you more traction. So I'm glad that you're getting followers. I really am, because that's going to really help you with this Sunday's launch. Hey, Annie Christie, it's been a minute. Miss Superstar, how you doing? Good to see you. Annie says, finally got the YouTube app so I can comment, but I've been watching. Well, that's good. Make sure you guys give me a thumbs up. More people are coming on. Thumbs up really make me feel good, but more importantly, they give the algorithm a data point to surface. And then it decides, ooh, this piece of content is becoming hotter and hotter, or more and more relevant, or more and more useful. So it is very likely going to push this live stream out to more people, both live and then on the replay. Transformational Healing by Donna says, I tested around 20 hashtags and my views went down, but engagement, click to profile, and mailing list signups went way up. I've been super focusing on exactly what is in the post and the caption, so I'm still testing. Now, I'm glad. Thank you for your leadership in terms of sharing that, Donna. Donna is one of my more successful students. I'm very proud of her, and I love this. I always think of you and your lovely family whenever I see this. But, thank you. But, because I always used to joke with this crazy one that I had. Everybody's like, will this work, Stacey? And I'm like, I don't know. I have one of these, but it doesn't seem to work. I can't see the future. But when you study algorithms and you study where they're going to go, a lot of times you can kind of prejudge things, and you can guess things more and more accurately. So I know that with my Socialgram shortcut students, like my Instagram deep dive course, well over a year ago, I was talking about Instagram SEO, and that keywords, they'd have no choice but to make them more and more relevant, because more people are learning about hashtags and are using them. And of course, the ones that are more serious about their business, they tend to invest in tools like Flick, and or they tend to invest in trainings like Socialgram Shortcut, and or they're just like getting more and more intuitive about not just using all the hashtags, but not going too broad with your hashtags, because those are too competitive. Anything with like 1 million or more uses on it, I don't know that I'd either use that hashtag at all, or if you're like, okay, Stacey, I'm down to like 27, 28 hashtags. I have a couple left. I gotta go. Let me publish this thing. Fine. You could use some really huge hashtags at the end, because in football, we call it a Hail Mary pass. Like maybe someone will see you as they look up a piece of content that's indexed with that hashtag that's super competitive, before you're buried seconds later by everyone else that's using hashtag hamburger or hashtag fun, like, come on. But what I love about Donna sharing her observation, that she's being very intentional using, like I think a tool like Flick, right? And she's being very intentional about what she's using, while her overall views on things, like let's say Reels, has gone up. Engagement is important, more important than just views. Okay. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Click to profile, right? And clicking on the link in bio, which should be to your email list, not your website. If you don't know why, let me know in the questions down below or the comments down below. But I don't want to go too far up topic. She's getting the macro conversions that her business needs to succeed. As I've said in videos on this channel before, and just in general during at least some of these live streams, to me, it is less important. You can't sell to everybody, because you end up selling to nobody. So that's a very age-old sales maxim, and it's still around because it's true. You're also not going to get traction, algorithmically speaking, with keywords or hashtags when you're going too broad. You do have to narrow down. As someone like Donna narrows down and gets more and more specific, not just in terms of the content, But in terms of her ideal customer and what content they're searching up on Instagram, no matter in this example, no matter what format it's in, because they're interested in solving a problem, satisfying a desire, or maybe both, you're going to get less views because you're not going to a supersonic wide audience. But as a business owner, you need to get sales conversions. So the more narrowed down, not just your content is and how you optimize it, but like the solutions and or satisfactions of desires that you have, the more custom crafted it is, it not only speaks to that ideal customer more effectively. It's like you're holding up a mirror and they go, that they get me, or that's exactly what I was looking for. That's exactly my concern. That's exactly what I like and I'm crushing on. Then you may get fewer views because fewer people are pulling up a piece of content, but it's still more of your ideal customers. And that explains why she's getting more engagement. That explains why she's getting more click through to profile. And once they're there, that explains why they're getting on her email list more. Which would you rather have? A million views on something and barely any macro conversions? Or would you rather have way less views? I know Donna knows the answer, but for everyone else, I'm saying, wouldn't you care and trade off and say, I'd rather get less views because I'm not pitching to a crowd. I'm pitching to a very narrow ideal customer or niche, depending upon where you are in the world. And those people are the ones that are more likely interested in a business like mine and our products and or services. Of course, because once someone's on your email list, not everyone is going to go jumping off to your website and buy right away. That's why I'd rather you get them on your email list with a coupon or a freebie or whatever would speak to your people best. If you're a products-based business, usually a coupon will do it, right? Don't overthink it. But I do have students from all different types of business models from 2013 on. So yeah, but could be a coupon, could be a PDF checklist, could be a free course or something like that, whatever. If you're a gamer, it could be to a trick shot video that you don't have for anybody else except for people who email you and get on your list. But more people are going to feel comfortable, especially if they've just come across you or they don't know you or your business too long. More people, once they're intrigued and they're kind of like, okay, this is stuff that's custom crafted to solve my problems or satisfy my desires, they're more likely to get onto your email list because it doesn't cost them anything. They probably have a coupon or whatever, right? And then when you continue your email marketing and social media marketing to them, that reminds them that not only you exist and you remain top of mind, they're more likely to turn in that coupon. 60% of all people who opt into an email list of a business do so because they want to be sold to. They may not be able to buy every day, every week, every month, but they want to be sold to and they want to know about the sales. They want to have the coupons and stuff like that. If you just drove people to a link in your bio, that's your website. And I know the field says website, so it can be kind of misleading, right? You think, well, I'm doing what they're asking. It's my website, not my email opt-in link. But the problem is not as many people are going to go there at first blush, and or they'll go there, be like, ooh, pretty, and then get distracted by something shiny. Once you have their email list, if you're emailing to your list at least once a week or more, you will get more conversions that way. People like Donna, Melissa Pickle, Andrew, like a bunch of my more successful students, who's at six figures, who's knocking on heaven's door of six figures with their multiple five figures, whatever, they sell more, not less. Annie Christie says, my wholesale business is blowing up. Girl, you were doing really strong before. I have a launch this Friday and an opportunity to work with a local pottery supply business to learn more about their side of things. Good girl. I know your business has been growing nice and strong over the last 2 years that we've been working together. I'm very proud of you. She says, trying to get back into batching my social media and email to keep the train running. Absolutely. She says, on the back end of Instagram, I'm using DMs to build relationships with retailers, and I love it. Just got to get the posts and reels back on track. I know it's hard, right? Like life happens and or you get so busy, like Donna and Onika and Andrew and all them, they are so busy, right? So like I talk about being in the beginner phase of business, and then like as you start to get tractions and you get those macro conversions every week, even in the beginning when they're low and slow, people are following or subscribing to you on social, right? Or on YouTube and stuff like that. People are getting into your email list. You are getting some sales every week. If you're not running an active sales promotion, you may not get too much, especially in the beginning, right? Like people might just buy your more popular items or your evergreen, or signature product line collection on Etsy or website or both or whatever is applicable. But like when you're running a sales promotion and you're really talking about it and warming them up, like Deborah Burkhart's wisely doing, right? And like a lot of my more successful students wisely do, then the pizza oven of the sale is more warmed up. So when cart opens or the product line collection launches or whatever is germane to your business model, you're sliding that pizza in the oven, whammo, it gets cooked and you don't get an ugly mess when you pull it out and it's not even a meal, right? So like again, if you're just like, wahoo, here's my sale and there's little to no buildup of it, again, I'm not telling you can't get sales, but you do have to be teasing. You have to build intrigue or at least be straight up letting people know. Like I've been more straight up about the popularity plan. I've let everyone know it's coming, right? Catherine, hi. Hi, Catherine. Good morning. All right. So, but once you become intermediate to advanced in terms of your success level, intermediate folks are selling not twice a month, right? They're selling like 3 times a month. They're pushing to 4 times a month. My advanced students, my multiple 5 and 6 figure and beyond students, they're selling either every day or they have a sale or promotion that averages like out to be once a week. That's a lot of work, especially if you're still in a solopreneur model when you do it. So, like my beginner students, they're in a bad place because they're trying to figure out their keywords and hashtags. And there may be a lot of learning curves for social media platforms themselves, working with tech, creating content, scheduling it all out. There's a lot of different learning curves, plus whatever learning curve you may still be going on with the business of your choice or the business model of your choice. So I get that. The ugliest time is beginner. I hated it myself. Ugh. I would not want to go back. I really wouldn't. But, once you're in the intermediate phase, I always say the intermediates kind of in a way have it easier because they're like, yeah, I'm getting conversions. So if it's fiscally responsible for me, I might even run ads. That's pouring gas on that fire. Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm getting more eyeballs on stuff that I know is converting. Because if you just run ads as a beginner and you go there, I'll shortcut the process. I have money. I have space on my credit card. I'll just run ads. 9 times out of 10, again, I'm not a guarantor of an outcome, but 9 times out of 10, you'll be that much more in debt and or that much more out of money, and you're pissed because the ads didn't work, as they often say in sales. All paid ads will do is make a failing product or concept fail faster. You need the organic conversions. You need the macro conversions. Are they following you? Are they getting on your email list? Are they buying from you? And even if it's low and slow and it's a trickle from week to week, but it is pretty persistent and consistent. To me, at that point, especially if you're doing 2 sales promotions a month, not one or less, then you're a hobbyist. And that's when paradoxically people get pissed. They get off your email list because they're like, who now? You haven't been emailing them. You're not on social. You're not behaving more like a business. Then they get weirded out and they leave. But when you are doing at least 2 sales a month, you do feel like a business as long as you're emailing them in between sales promotions, not just to warn them about the next one coming, but like if you do a YouTube video once a week, share the YouTube video. You do a blog post on your website once a week, share the blog post on social on your website. Drive traffic to it. But these are like value ads that as long as they're not salesy or it's a quick PS talking about a sale coming up, you are adding value to the people on your email list. So, I mean, if you could email them every day, that's great. But if you can, and lots of my students can, especially beginners, intermediates, I get it. But if you're emailing less than once a week, there's something wrong. And it will be that much harder to get traction. If you email like less than once a week and somebody dives off, they probably don't care anymore. The trail went too cold. If you email more often and people dump off, they weren't going to buy from you anyway. Who cares? With most email service providers, either from the get-go or like after you go through the freemium level and you hit 100 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, you start paying for these people. You don't want, like, I hate to say it, dead weight on your email list. It's also false vanity metrics. Just like I said before, when Donna showed leadership and shared that she may be getting less views, but she's getting more conversions, right? because she's getting more fine grain about the hashtags that she's using, and she's always testing, which is a wise thing to do. Don't get too complacent, right? Oh, don't be sorry you're late. Poor Janelle. Janelle, it's okay. Janelle. I'm just glad that you're here. Give this video a thumbs up. Share this out on social if you don't mind, because this is free coaching for people. So you can share it in any groups that you have if they're entrepreneur based, right? You can share it if you've got friends that always complain, no coaches ever seem to give any freebies. Here I am. This costs y'all nothing but a quick thumbs up at the very least. I always think that that's kind of you giving like a tip in a tip jar, right? So like the thumbs up is good, not just because it makes Stacey feel better, but the algorithm goes, oh, there's more engagement. But of course, every comment, every question, anything like that that you guys put in the comments section down below help as well. But unfortunately, until YouTube kind of tweaks things more, while we're live, the comments are there and I read them because at least they're in the video for later, and then the comments disappear. But then anything on the replay are there like you would normally have them stay there, like on a regular pre-produced YouTube video. I know that they are still investing into live streams and tweaking here on YouTube. I'm sure they will fix that. Actually, when I went live this morning, I was on time, but I was going to be on a little earlier, but they changed some stuff with the interface on the YouTube live studio and the creator studio. So I was like, oh, this is different. And so they kind of switched it up a little. So who knows? Maybe after I post this, all the comments will be there because they fixed that too. I don't know. But I'll keep reading them out anyway because you guys have some good stuff going. But Annie Christie's right, because what happens is once you're an intermediate success and then you move on to advanced, you're doing a sale averaged out at least every week. You are emailing your list at least once a week. You are publishing on multiple platforms on the daily. I mean, YouTube, you can still get away with once to twice a week to get good traction if you're optimizing your videos properly. But like any others, like more social media platform like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, those you really need to be doing daily. When you're a beginner, you're like, oh, I'm overwhelmed. Just focus on daily publication on the top 2 social media platforms that are most important for your niche. You can't be everywhere. You're probably a solopreneur. No one's helping you, right? You're making little or no money. You can't do paid tools yet. Maybe you can do free or freemium stuff, but like that's the most that you can do. And it's really hard, right? So if you can't pay anything, like something like MailChimp for your email service provider as a beginner is fine. You could do paid stuff like OWO or whatever later. You can use the forever free plan for later, which will help you to auto post or schedule out posts. You'll only have a limited number that you could do on places like Facebook, Instagram, and we'll use it for Instagram and Twitter. No, Instagram and Pinterest is really good, but they'll only limit you to how many per month that you can do at the free version. When you pay, obviously, you start to unlock unlimited things, and that's great. But like it's really hard. You can't be everywhere and do everything all the time, even if this is the only job you have or you're home with kids and this is like the only thing that you do. You don't work outside the home or you don't work remote. Otherwise, it's still a challenge as a beginner, and I get that. But the problem is once you're like intermediate, you should be doing 3 sales promotions a month averaged out. And maybe be on the top 3 social media platforms that are most important to your niche at that point. A lot of learning curve is behind you, so it's not so intimidating, usually. And by now, YouTube should be in there, and a video once a week is an absolute must, or you're just not going to be competitive. By the time you're advanced, you're averaging out a sales promotion every week. Average it out, okay? And you should at least be on the top 4 social media platforms that are most important to your niche. YouTube, again, at least a minimum of a video a week. If you haven't by intermediate, by advanced, Pinterest should be in there too. Google's the largest search engine on earth. YouTube's the second largest search engine on earth. And Pinterest is the 3rd largest search engine on earth. YouTube is the largest video-based search engine on earth. And Pinterest is the largest image-based search engine on earth. The cool thing about Pinterest is you can rank a pin if you know what you're doing with Pinterest SEO within minutes to hours of the pin going up. And over time, it could be pulled up, especially on Google. Google actually, of course, favors YouTube and YouTube Shorts. So those things will be like on shelves that are given priority reach on any search that you do on Google. But the next time you do a Google search, take a look. You likely will have Pinterest pins right underneath there. Okay. So that's really cool. Let me see. I think Catherine's asking something. I recently noticed Amazon AWS has email service. Thoughts on this email platform selling handmade in Amazon? Okay. So that's a really good question. Here's two things I'm going to say. Number one, I'm not an Amazon expert. So that I would ask like Renee that, quite frankly. Renee Christine, that, because I know you know her. And she might be able to give you direct guidance. These are my thoughts on using email services when you're a seller using the platform. It's kind of like, now Renee may say something different, but this is my thought. It's kind of like when you're on Etsy, and I'm no Etsy expert. That's Starla Moore, and I know quite a few of my students know and love her because they're on Etsy, but certainly not all of my students are. All different kinds of business models. But I love me some Starla and Mark too. So hey. But I would say that it's kind of like Etsy. Etsy has its transactional emails. And then Etsy has its own rules about like what you can do with emailing there. But those tend to be more transactional based. Hey, what's up, Kaylan Vlogs? Hi, Kaylan. Good to see you. It's been a minute. Why don't you give us an update on your business if you like, and make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. It's kind of like a tip in a tip jar for me. And then the YouTube algorithm goes, oh, even more engagement. Love that. So if we are talking about with Amazon AWS having an email service and it's more transactional based, and you have to be careful because you can't just email them like in a promotional way, maybe. Like, Etsy only really lets you do transaction-based stuff. If over the course of your transactions, you say to somebody, hey, if you want a coupon good for, I don't know, 20% off the purchase you're making with me, I'll refund the purchase for you, and you can go through my website, I'll save you 20% off, then you're on my email list and you'll get more coupons. You'll get advance notice about sales and stuff like that. Amazon AWS may not allow you to do email like that. I don't know enough because I'm not per se an Amazon business expert. Oh, Laura Mergel, what's going on? Bliss Bomb Slime Shop. This is my daughter's account. Hey, Laura. Speaking about successful clients, how y'all doing? What? Let's see. Do you have any questions specifically about hashtags? Because I could circle back to that. It's 11 o'clock. This is a big day for me, man. I hit 1,400 subs, so I'm all stoked about that on YouTube. That's very hard to do. So I'm on the march now to, I guess, 1,500 and then 2,000. Most YouTubers won't even hit 100 subscribers on YouTube. Of those that do, most of those won't get to 1,000 subs. Of those that do, it typically takes them 2 to 5 years to do so. I did it in 10 months, but then I got injured and then I got COVID. So that I got backed up. Of those that make 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, it's a much smaller percentage that will hit 10,000. And then out of that, it's a smaller percentage that will make 100,000 or more. Typically, once you get to 100,000, as long as you're keeping things up persistently and consistently publishing, whatever gets you there can continue to get you there. Like you keep that perpetual motion going, and then gold is now out of the question for you and beyond. So I am definitely on the march to the next big bracket that algorithmically will sort me out. Like I'll be sorted into a different house, if this were like friggin' Harry Potter. So I'm on the march to 10,000. Had I only not gotten injured and sick after that, it sucks. Congratulations on 1,400. Thank you. We're holding steady, Stacey, with back to school, still doing well. Good. Because I know you're always so busy. I don't get a chance to check in with you and vice versa as much as we'd like. All right, quick sip because I'm still getting over sick, of course, being sick. But later on today, it's going to be a closed group where I'd invite you guys to come. I was invited to be a speaker in a Facebook group that has over 30,000 people in it. So that's really exciting. It's a big honor. La 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 la. Laura Linz. Hello, Laura Linz. All right. Does it feel like using the email service that your selling platform offers is kind of like using the same divorce lawyer as your spouse? Oh my God, that's so awesome. All is good until there's a dispute. Then you're in trouble. Oh my God, Laura Linz, that is such a perfect soundbite. Sorry, guys. I don't want to cough in everyone's faces. Whew. I have been talking for over an hour, though. And I'm still getting over being sick. But it wasn't the big sick that COVID and long COVID was. So, yeah, I would use those for transactional videos only, transactional emails only, rather. That's definitely my advice for Etsy. I'm no Etsy expert, but still, that's kind of like one of those things. I think I agree with Laura. The whole goal should always be to, entice them to get onto your email list, because platforms shut down or they shut down various arms of businesses. You'll be lucky if you get any warning or notice. And or, okay, they may want a lot of people to use the Amazon AWS based email because they want everybody to get in the door and start using it, and then get so embedded that it's hard to extract yourself if you want to later. And then they'll just keep changing the terms of service more and more and more once they've gotten more people in the door. I don't want to sound sinister, but I've just been doing this since 2013. And I haven't been everywhere perpetually all the time, but I've seen a lot of things go down through the years. So I know this is Amazon and they're huge and stuff, but still, they can always change the price of poker, can always go up. They can always change the rules, because whose platform is it? Catherine, you have such a great question. I'm glad you're asking this. But for the benefit of anyone watching live or on the replay, I'm just going to say that I happen to agree with Laura and her sentiment. Like, everything's cool till it's not, and they can change the name of the game because it's their platform. Two of the most important reasons why I want everybody to always focus on getting people on their email list is, number one, when people are on your email list, they're more likely to buy from you, either right away or maybe they need a little bit more wooing with content marketing and email marketing, and then they'll do it. Because approximately 3/4 of your sales from month to month should come from your email list. That's how it tends to work when all the pistons in the engine of your business are firing properly. And so that's reason number one. When they raise their hands enough to get on the email list, those are the warmest leads and or the hottest leads that your business is going to get from month to month. The second reason is your email list is yours. No one can take that away from you. No platform can do it. Nothing. That list is yours. Even as a matter of good housekeeping, you could download most email service providers, from MailChimp all the way up to like Entreport, which is so damn expensive, and Infusionsoft. Even for my coaches and course creators, blech, I'd rather you use ConvertKit. And I'm not even going to share a link for that because I don't want to be a shill for that. I don't want to be a shill for like everything. So when I am a shill for something like Flick, you really should get it, because, if I'm going to only pick a select few things to do at this juncture, and Flick's one of them, there's a reason why, right? So when you can get a free week of Flick, the hashtag research tool down below. The link is there. Yes, it's an affiliate link. I put the disclosure in, blah, 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 blah. But hey, it helps me to do all this like otherwise free coaching, right? So always, always, always get people on the list. Second to sales, that's the most important. No potential spam. I'm sorry. That's the most important macro conversion you can get outside of sales. Think about it this way. There's a lot of gamers on YouTube that have big followings, for example. But their audience is predominantly kids. So advertisers are like, nah, we'd really have want the parents and the adults. So they don't get the AdSense revenue on YouTube that you think that they can, or that you think that they do, even if they have 1 million subscribers or more. If they were trying to live on their AdSense revenue on YouTube, they'd starve. And most of them don't have a clue about capturing leads on an email list. Like I have an email opt in right now. I'm definitely going to update it, but it's one that is a classic and it's how to deal with difficult people. So, like whether you're in service or you're doing customer service, you're a service based business or you're in a customer service as part of your business model. Maybe you're a solopreneur, you have a super small team, you're taking care of customer service. Well, guess what? You're going to deal with some difficult people sometime, and in real life you might deal with difficult people, right? So that's like an opt-in that I have that's free. It's a PDF checklist, whatever. No, it's a PDF, it's not a checklist, whatever. But at least I'm getting people to go to that opt-in link, right? And I'm capturing leads by doing YouTube videos of all kinds and live streams and replays all the time. So my email list is always growing just from that alone. So honestly, and the bigger my email list gets, the more people I can make offers to month, even if I'm just doing it twice a month, right? So, how are you going to make more money if you're really not asking for money? Right? Like, I can't tell you, especially older women in products based businesses. I hate to paint with too broad a brush, but like, they like want to be in business and they've got to make all this money and they've got to retire their husband, wife, significant other, whatever, read it in. Oh my God, I need money for retirement. I want to redo my kitchen. I have all this credit card debt. What do you mean I have to sell to my email list twice a month? I can't do that. What if someone unsubscribes and says too spammy? It's probably going to happen. But as long as most of your email list stays there and it's growing, even if it's low and slow, and your click through rates, your email open rates, and your click through rates are healthy and or increasing, then you're going to get some people going, "Oh my God, you're selling to me? Yeah, I'm a business. Get a grip." If you don't ask, you're not going to get. If you're going to act like you're in the witness protection program, but like somewhere off in the yonder is my YouTube, I'm sorry, my website or my Etsy shop. I hope you find it. Like, what the hell? Hi, Tiffany. I've been using MailChimp. It's free and easy. Yeah, Janelle, really? That's what I agree with Tiffany too. Laura Lentz gets like the quotable quote of the day. That's the best. Yeah, I think that no matter what kind of business model you're starting out with, using the free freemium plan with MailChimp is fine. I don't have any links. I'm not being a shill for that. Again, I'm very selective about what I'm a shill for. But I still use it depending upon like what business I'm working out of. Is it something for my son? Is it for Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill? What is it? Right. So, like, it's a great place to start. I do not recommend staying there if for no other reason at all, just so that we don't get too off track. It starts off like free or the cheapest, but once you grow your email list to 1,000 or more subscribers, like you can Google, because these things are being updated all the time. You can Google the price comparisons between that and even just ConvertKit, let alone anything else. Because you do start paying for your subscribers, right? Even folks who unsubscribe, you need to delete them from your email list because they're still contacts, right? You could archive them too, and depending upon the ESP or email service provider, maybe that doesn't count towards your billing statement every month, but it probably will. And even if it didn't, why the hell are you archiving somebody? If they want off your list, get them off your list. Why hold on to them? Okay, Laura Lynn's, now I'm going to build off you. That's kind of like you broke up with your husband, but you both are still living in the same house. Creepy. I don't want you in my house. Get out. I don't want your contact information. Ew. Ugh. Why are you so afraid to delete a contact? Because they were like, oh my God, you ran a sale twice a month. You're spammy. That's like the husband that was like cheating on you or has no respect for you anymore, but you still want him around because at least you have a man in your life. What? Well, if I delete all these contacts, Stacey, then my email list will shrink. Well, in a vacuum, oh well, whoever's left over still wants to hear from you. Focus on that. And outside of the vacuum, what is part of the whole thing that I say at the beginning of every YouTube video I do? Right? You're watching my YouTube videos, right? I hope so. If you're not, go back and start watching them. Because here's the thing. In the beginning, I'm always about driving traffic to your business so that you can do more business. You could do it with email. You could do it with live slash replays. You could do it with social, right? But you have to do it. If you don't do it, then you're where, what is it? She's successful. She's making good money. Annie Christie, because Annie Christie has the curse of the intermediate to advanced student of mine, where it's like they're making money and they're so busy and they're getting contacted. They're doing collabs. They're doing business crossovers. They've got wholesale. They've got retail if they're product space or whatever. Or they have a product space business, but now they're going to coach about whatever the topic is having to do with the products they have. Like, oh, do you sell essential oils and jewelry that have essential oils or could carry them like you're your own personal diffuser? Maybe you want to be a coach that also talks about how to use essential oils. And you either make the blend yourself, like Transformational Healing by Donna does, or maybe you're an affiliate for the oils, or you're in direct sales and you sell the oils or whatever. Make sure you read your agreements. I don't want anybody to get in trouble. Laura Lynch, get out of my house. Tiffany says, loving this metaphor now so much. But it's true. It's true. I remember, and when you have a smaller list, this hurts a lot more. It really does, right? If you have like 100 subs and then 3 people unsubscribe because you dared to run a sale. And they're like, oh no, spammy, I'm running away. You're selling to me. I'm a business. What did you think I was going to do? Sure, I like providing value right in my email. So if you're on my email list, you'll definitely see throughout the week, usually an email 2 or 3 that talks about my YouTube videos, or it might remind you I'm doing a live stream, right? But like when I go to sell the popularity plan, which you'll get your email for that today for September's popularity plan pack, it's a $37 digital bundle. 4 pre-templated emails, 15 social media graphics, and 15 corresponding captions to go with the social media graphics. They're templated. So fill in the blanks, tweak the language to make it sound like you. Boom. You've got roughly half at least of your relationship marketing covered for both email and social for $37, right? So, and the graphics typically have to do with holidays and or tentpole events that most any niche would be receptive to, right? So we try to like steer clear of anything that's too charged one way or another, so that it's safe and sanitized for all as much as possible. But for $37, if you're a solopreneur, you have a teeny tiny team, that saves you a heck of a lot of time. You'd have a hard time getting all the graphics just for $37, plus the templates, all the copywriting done for you. Email will go out to the list today. Okay. When I get off, I just have a couple of things to do or tweak, and you will get the email. Cart opens today. Cart will close on Sunday to make up for my being sick. Sorry. Let's see. Bridget says, I need a law degree to understand the agreement from the place we get our oils. Yeah, you got to be really, really careful. You may be able to find Reddit threads. If Reddit is not something you're in, don't worry about it. But if you're Reddit friendly, go check out the threads. There can be a lot of like boards and chat groups and stuff. Like say, I don't know, You're with Young Living. I'll make it up. You're with Young Living, or Arbonne or whatever. If you're having a hard time understanding their social media policies or their marketing policies, you are bound by them. So do make sure that like you either ask questions of, I used to sell 31 gifts, and I have to say, I haven't sold it in years. But when I was with them, knowing what I know about sales, I went up to the top 5% of my company. Are you shocked? None of my regular students are shocked, right? It was like taking candy from a baby. P.S. I don't even care about purses. Isn't that hilarious? Purses, wallets, organizers. I was like, whatever, give me something, I'll sell it. Excuse me. This was back when I was coaching and still doing some lawyering stuff on the side too. So, but if I ever had a question about their social media policy or anything like that, I would just run it by them. They would rather be asked than not. At least the corporate culture behind 31, not a paid plug, not a shill for them anymore. They were really good. So you can ask, you can see if there's groups or anything like that. Or even Reddit threads to see if anybody has any common clarifications for stuff. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you haven't already. It's like putting a tip in the tip jar. If you're just coming in now, make sure you go back to the top, because we talk about hashtag optimizations, how to make them work. Yes, shooting them through the lens of Instagram mostly, but a lot of the stuff you can carry over to TikTok or Twitter as well. I think I've covered all the material that I really meant to do today. So make sure you've subscribed if you haven't. Click the bell notification and select all. Yes, so MailChimp, I would just say it's great to start out with, but as soon as you know you're getting up to like 1,000 subs or whatever, I would cross over to ConvertKit or OO or something else because it becomes the most expensive game in town. And while MailChimp is iterating and giving you a lot more stuff, like you can automate emails and stuff like that, still if you went over to ConvertKit or something else, you'd be able to do more and more fine grain. Do not, under any circumstances, in my humble opinion, for whatever it's worth, do not go to like Infusionsoft ever, especially if you're a coach or course creator. Products-based business would never even think of these things. And even Ontraport, they're so damn expensive and you don't need to do that. Okay, so Tiffany says, that was me with MK because I think I needed something to sell when I was pregnant and couldn't solder, couldn't solder. Even MK has a Facebook group for all kinds of those questions. Yeah, a lot of them do. A lot of them do. So Bridget says, I've been starting to post sales posts for September so I can drop in the popularity plan when it releases. It's definitely releasing today. Even with my crazy life, I get all the KLT or no like and trust posts done in 1 to 2 days tops. Thank you so much for that shout out, Miss Bridget. I really appreciate it. Oh, Mary Kay, that's okay. That's okay. Makes sense. Yeah. So if you're on Instagram and you want to use hashtags that are more likely to get people who will engage with you, because if Flick breaks things down in a table, so it will show you not only what are the, you put in a hashtag, it's going to give you a bunch of suggestions. It's going to give you a bunch of related stuff. You break it out. They have 2 different views that you can do it in. One's like a table view and one's like a graph kind of view. So whatever, it's the same information, just if you like it different ways, that's cool. So I like that feature. But one of like, say in the table mode, one of the columns will also show you the engagement that those hashtags tend to get. So you can figure out which ones you can get some traction in that are not too competitive or not too underused, but you can also see like which ones tend to fetch the most engagement. It also, another example of things that Flick shows you that I don't know how you would get that, not like trying to do this longhand math on Instagram. And again, Flick is an official third-party partner or vendor with Instagram. I do not chill for things that are like shady. Jesus, no, but not worth it. But it also shows you whether a hashtag is falling in favor or out of favor in its use, meaning like you can see like how much more recently this hashtag has been used a lot versus not, right? So in a way, it's kind of like you don't want to use hashtags that are the functional equivalent of talking about Betamax or VHS when everybody's out there streaming their faces off right now, right? Like, and you're using hashtags that are like Betamax. Like, seriously, come on. But you don't know it, right? Because you may know your niche, but you may not know them as fine grained as you think you are, or your finger is on the pulse of your community. But if you get sick, you go on vacation or whatever, things can move fast in today's world. So that's another thing that I like about looking at the information that Flick gives me. All right, so let me see. Tiffany says, I totally forget I abbreviate. Everyone does, Tiffany. And getting excited for the popularity plan, definitely overwhelming all the social media batching. Yes. So that was something that my students asked me to create for them or hook them up with someone who did it. And I'm like, fine, I'll do it because I have a graphic designer that does X amount of work for me a week. So I'm like, fine, let me throw that to her. So she does the graphic designs, what's from scratch versus like all the different softwares. She's done work for some of the biggest people out there in the coach and course creator industries. So she's got access to a lot. So her stuff is gorgeous. We do try to keep it more kind of like neutral-esque, so it'll work with your branding. Same thing with the fonts. It was just a lot easier for us to go with some more pre-selected fonts and stuff. You can edit this stuff if you need to. If you're like, but I have designer tendencies, then you can do that. Whether you're using Canva or not. You do not need to use Canva Pro or have access to Canva Pro if you want to mess with the stuff that we sell in the packs directly in Canva. You should not need Canva Pro at all. Although I use Canva Pro, but that's okay. So for $37, you get 4 emails, 15 social media, 4 pre-templated emails, 15 social media captions that are pre-templated, and then 15 corresponding graphics that will cover holidays and tentpole events that most members of your niche should be receptive to. All right, so how we doing? Can we wrap up, guys? Let me know. Let me know. I'm just going to take a quick sip. Oh, that's incredible. Yes, it is a great deal. Cool, cool, cool. So what I'll do also for anybody that's not on my email list yet, you can certainly find the opt-in for dealing with difficult people down below. I'm going to come up with like something that's a little bit more like social media focused. That was on my list of things to do, and then I fell ill for the millionth time. But and or if you're already on my email list, and you're fine. But I will also drop the link once this goes into replay mode. It'll be a pinned comment, so it'll be the top of all the comments down below on this video, so that you can get the popularity plan pack for September. After that, next week, I will be selling access to Social Talk Shortcut, my TikTok focus course. Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill, my 7-figure client, has gone to how many followers? I was about to use the wrong platform parlance. For TikTok, it's fan or followers. Holy Christmas. They're up to, I don't know if you can see, probably not. But if you look up Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill, they also took up Joe's Dairy Bar just so no one else could do it. But you really want to look at Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill on TikTok. They currently have, well, this is live, 733,200 followers and 16.4 million likes. Now, we're going to be updating our link in our bio or caption or profile or whatever on TikTok. Sorry. So many different platforms, so many different terms, so many different times. And they're going to be swapping that out for an email opt-in form so that people can save 20% off their first purchase of merch or merchandise with our logo on it from Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill. So if you don't believe me, say you're a products-based business and you're like, I don't believe you about TikTok. Like, why should I bother? That's for kids. 52% of it are all people that are not Generation Z. So right then and there you lose, because most of the people using that platform has now tipped over to full-blown adults who are gainfully employed, right? Or retired if they're baby boomers. More baby boomers and Gen Xers are careening onto that platform all the time. Millennials have a very strong presence there. And I know so many of my clients, millennials, I want to sell to millennials. But Gen Z is like 48%. They're not even the majority anymore. So, don't be like it's Musically from like 3 years ago or whatever, or 4 years ago. No. But if you're product based and you're like, why should I be on TikTok? Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill is like an edible products based business. They only have one location, and it's in the middle of Ware, New York. I mean, seriously. No one would be going and traveling to Dutchess County unless they had friends and loved ones there, right? So, but what happened? We blew up big as a food-based influencer on TikTok, and people in the messages on TikTok have been asking persistently and consistently now, are you guys going to come out with a line of merch? Because I may be in, I don't know, Australia, but I would love to have a hat or a t-shirt from you guys. I've gone to your website. It's cool. I may never go to you, but I want merch because I'm a foodie and I love your stuff and I'm a fan of your brand. Could you imagine if all we were, because we obviously can't ship hamburgers worldwide. That'd be gross. But we can we can ship t-shirts and hats all the way around the world, can't we? So when your clientele, I'm sorry, when your social following is waving their credit card, going, take my money, what better evidence do you need, that TikTok, you can make sales on it? And we're not even like buy our stuff. And on that platform, you shouldn't do it. So next week, I'm going to be launching my Social Talk Shortcut course. I will launch it at $397. After that, it goes to $997. So if you want to save yourself like $600, you can jump in on the $397 launch for next week. So as much as right now with my health and everything, I don't want to do 2 sales back to back, I'm going to do that. Yes, you're awesome, and finally got the links for all the Funnel Fairy Godmother courses. Yay! Thank you, Stacey. You're welcome. Yeah, they didn't import it all until earlier this week. The tech guy was on his honeymoon, so what can I say? He's allowed to do that, right? All right, let's see. I'm going to screen shoot one thing because I think it's just funny. I can't stand that these comments disappear. That's so sad. That's so fun. All right, guys. So I'm really glad to have spent time with you guys today. I went way longer than I thought again, but that's okay. I don't think you guys mind. Make sure that you've subscribed if you haven't. Click the bell notifications and select all so that you get notified when I go live and when any of my videos premiere and come up. I have videos Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, lives on Wednesday. Popularity plan will come out today for September, so make sure you don't miss that. And I'm happy to be celebrating hitting, as of today,